Greetings, YouTube. Otrix has data mined one of the champions publicly. There are other champion, or at least I should say at least one other champion that he's found but has not published yet, so I don't want to spoil anything. But I want to talk about the champion that MCOC Trucos has also publicly released, and I keep getting screenshots of this from that release as if I did not know it was the case, which I appreciate people reaching out, letting me know of something, even if I already know of it. That's still nice of you. But, if you're like me, you don't know what everybody in the Marvel Universe is. I had no idea who Diablo was. And so when Mr. Sinister comes out, the temptation is to be like, who the heck is that? So the whole purpose of this video is to answer that question, mostly by having me reveal, thanks to Marvel's official website biography, who this guy is and why maybe he's wearing a diamond on his forehead. I know that there are a lot of people out there who know everything about every Marvel comic book character, so I'm excited to have people comment and be like, of course, don't you know that that diamond is a laser that shoots from his forehead and kills people instantly, kind of like Gambit should do with his cards, blah, blah, blah. Shut up, you ignorant tool. But for the meantime, we're going to talk about this bio. I warn you, there are some words in here that I have no idea how to pronounce. So I will further show my ignorance by mispronouncing words that I can look at for an hour and still just take a wild guess at. But for the most part, I did a video a few months back about some of the top champions that summoners had requested on my live streams of Marvel Contest of Champions to add in 2019. Now, of course, this was before the Fantastic Four anniversary was announced. The Fantastic Four, along with Silver Surfer, were at the very top of the list every time I asked my summoners for suggestions on newer champions, along with somebody like Professor X. But another champion that has been requested by so many people is Apocalypse, someone that I actually do know something about, not just because of the latest X-Men movie that kind of flopped. But this is Nathaniel, is it Essex? That's how I pronounce it. Mr. Sinister. Now, according to Marvel, once we get past their advertisements, he's got, fairly average traits in this universe, with his best trait being intelligence and his worst traits being speed and strength. Kind of like me on a junior varsity basketball court back in the day in high school. But 6'5", 285, that does look like the build of a quarterback, actually. But so we have this bio when you scroll down that starts with the following. During the 19th century, Nathaniel Essex encountered Apocalypse, who used his technology to transform Essex into Sinister, the last word his dying wife ever spoke to him. So, very sad, tragic story. Not like other stories of origins are not tragic, but this gives me the hope, and this is strictly speculation based off of this biography. I do not have anything concrete data mine, but this gives me the hope that maybe Apocalypse is coming to MCOC, if not in February at some point this month. I know there are several pictures that showed future characters, including somebody like Emma Frost and Omega Red, that were that screenshot of just X-Men mutants a few months back, and that since has been updated, and so there are a lot of theories going out there, probably correct ones, that some of the X-Men who have not appeared yet in MCOC will be appearing this month and in future months. It's interesting because I feel like they're going kind of back and forth. We'll have 1 month of X-Men characters, then 1 month of Fantastic Four, and then that leaves us with special months like Spider-Man Far From Home, where we'll probably get Mysterio and, I don't know, Molten Man or Sandman or somebody, maybe another skin of Spider-Man. I certainly hope not. But so that seems to be kind of the formula for 2019 thus far. Soon after, a time-displaced Gambit and Courier approached Sinister for help. Sinister agreed to help them as long as he could have a DNA sample from Courier. A very strange recommendation for an ancestry DNA test on the spot. This DNA sample allowed Sinister to replicate Courier shape-shifting abilities within Sinister's own body. So if there is some shape-shifting ability in Marvel Contest of Champions, it will be curious what those animations look like. I think we can all agree, regardless of whether or not we like certain champions' abilities and their utilities within the game, that in general, the MCOC team still does an amazing job with animations. And that's where I constantly am blown away by this mobile game, that they can have animations that were way better than some console games I played, at least as a kid. By the early 20th century, Sinister had cracked the genetic genome and was willing to share the information with Herbert Edgar, Wyndham, who would later become the High Evolutionary. Also have never heard of that person in my life. During World War II, Sinister worked alongside the Nazis, collecting as many blood samples as he could. It was during this time that he first saw Submariner and was inspired to create a clone of, Namor? The clone was Experiment in 2 and had varied success against the original Namor, but was defeated by Mr. Captain America. I do want to scroll down and point out, because a lot of people have been asking about Weapon X in the past few months as well, and you'll kind of see toward the end of this bio that indeed Sinister later involved himself with Nate Gray. He joined the reestablished Weapon X program as Dr. Robert Windsor, claiming to help mutants escape Weapon X's mutant concentration camp, Neverland, but in reality, he took them to be his test subjects. So, there you have it. Now the question becomes from this bio, would you like to see Apocalypse in the game? Maybe in February, maybe in December. Who knows? Again, this is strictly speculation based off of the official biography from the Marvel website. I have no proof that Apocalypse is coming into the game, and I will take no credit for when he does. I just hope he does, because Apocalypse is an incredible villain and one of the most notable presences of the X-Men universe, if you will. So yeah, there you have it. I hope that answered some questions about who this person is. It'll be interesting how his biography fits into the official timeline of Marvel Contest of Champions. But yeah, that answered some people's questions. And now I am going to go grade, because, that's my job. Thanks for watching, YouTube.